Good morning, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank the organizer for inviting me to share our health and well-being program at MIC. There's a bit of change in the topic, but it is still about behavioral BHSSE. Now, in 2018, we launched a campaign called BHSSE, which stands for Be Behavioral, Health, Safety, Security, and Environment. The main objective of this campaign is basically to change our employees' behavior and attitude, obviously in health, to take ownership in their health. This is part of our strategic initiative towards generative culture, which is something that our company is aspired to become. Right. A bit of the disclaimer. I was informed by our company to remind everyone just information is confidential. So we hope that there's no distribution of information. I will be talking a bit about MIC, what we do as a company. Again, I was reminded by my boss to just tell everyone here a bit about what we do as a company. I'll go through our strategy, our key initiative and activities, and how the pandemic has actually enhanced our digital initiative. And I will end the presentation with the outcome and how did we overcome those challenges during pandemic. Yeah. Okay. So I think, I think if you have been managing health and well-being program, I've been doing it for more than 10 years now, having been with multiple organizations, big and small. While it is very interesting to roll out new campaign or new program in health and well-being, I think one of the key challenge, at least what I feel, is sustaining those programs. How do we get employees to stay excited with the program that we rolled out? And I think I have seen this in the various organizations that I've worked with. When we rolled out campaigns, for example, on healthy eating or physical movement and all that, the first few months, there's always like very high intake or uptake of those programs, but it just gradually declined very drastically the third month onwards. And the challenge again is how do we get people stay excited with those programs that we are rolling out, right? Before I dwell further into this health and well-being strategy, I would like to just mention a little bit about MIC. Oh, I missed, where's the slide? It's missing. Okay, anyway. MIC as a company, we were incorporated in Malaysia in 1968. So we have been in the industry for more than 50 years, 55 years to be exact. Our core business is shipping. So what we do is we ship energy globally. So meaning we ship petroleum, gas, LNG, and also petroleum product as well, globally throughout the world. Our headquarters is in Kuala Lumpur, but we have our offices in various locations, including Singapore, India as well, Rio, Houston, Norway, Netherlands, and a few more other satellite offices in China and Japan. We have more than 9,000 employees globally. Half of those employees are seafarers, meaning that they operate our floaters. We have more than 100 vessels, fleets. So these vessels, some are operated by MIC, some are chartered to our clients. And our workforce, we have, I would say, more than 45 nationalities globally, right? And again, so our main core business is shipping, but in addition to that, we also have got other businesses. One of our subsidiary company is basically managing a shipyard. So what happened in the shipyard, we provide ship repair, ship conversion, or even provide offshore solutions to oil and gas companies. The other business entity provide manning services to all the port and terminal services. And the other business unit is basically providing education and training to our seafarers. So it is a diverse portfolio within the MIC group. So managing health and well-being program across the whole entities has got its own challenges. Obviously, some of the entities are a bit more matured, depending on where they are located. Like, for example, our entity in the US, for example, has got a bit more matured program compared to some other parts of the operations. Okay, so that's MIC in general. So if you want to know more, you can go to our website, mic.my. Okay, right. On the health and well-being strategy. So when we roll out the campaign in 2018, so the BHSSE campaign, the main objective was actually to empower our employees to take ownership of their personal health. I don't know how many of you have been to Malaysia, but if you've been to Malaysia, Malaysia is at the Southeast Asia region. We are basically known to be the most unhealthiest person in the Southeast Asia region. So if you were to compare to Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam, so Malaysians are actually the least healthiest people. And also, if you've been to Malaysia, you would probably know why, because with the diverse culture and ethnicity in Malaysia, we have Chinese, Indian, Malays. We have so much food. Food is abundant. And if you ask any tourist or anyone visiting Malaysia, we are known for our food. And they are available 24/7. So this has been, again, our biggest challenge, again, as a company. So that's why our key initiative on BHSSE, we want to focus on the three main elements, the main key focus, which is move, mind, and munch. So basically, move, as it indicates here, is basically to encourage employees to move more, to be more active. Mind is basically for them to better manage their mental health. And the munch is how do we actually encourage employee to adopt, healthier nutrition, which is a big challenge. Okay, and how do we basically enable all these activities? We provide an environment that promotes health and well-being. And I think you also would agree that providing an environment, especially at the workplace, require all of these elements: leadership commitment, in-house and external facilities, our corporate partners, our flexi-work option that we have recently just rolled out, and also all the various digital platforms that we have. Yeah, and then to encourage participation and also ongoing engagement with our staff, we have implemented a lot of activities and initiatives that basically support all these elements. And we subscribe to the UN SDG goals, which is the number 3, the health and well-being. Our strong HSE culture is defined by a broad spectrum of programs and that promotes health and well-being for our employees, contractors, and also communities. So I would say that it is very, it is very encouraging to see the leadership commitment that is shown by this company, where they truly believe in health and well-being. And they really do want to drive the health and well-being agenda in the company. This is our journey. So again, I joined the company in 2017, in end of 2017. So in 2018, we started the program. So, and to kick off the program, we launched a few key activities, again, around the Move Mind Munch. I will go through some of the key initiatives that we did, this timeline, this journey here, basically is just showing how much program that we actually put in place to drive the health and well-being at the company level. So 2018, we started the BHSSE campaign, followed by a few initiatives. 2019, we enhanced those activities. Unfortunately, in 2020, COVID happens, and a lot of the activities were put on hold, and we try to do as much as we can through digital platforms, but obviously we all know that engagement through digital platform is not as good as physical engagements. 2021, we slowly get back into the office and we started implementing back all those activities. And 2022 is where we again try to increase the intensity of our program. And now going to 2023, there are a lot more exciting things happening this year. Okay, some of the key initiatives that we have done. So in 2018, when we launched the campaign, we started this program called Health Passport. It is basically a health screening program. Now, the idea of having this program is to get a baseline and just analyze the health temperature of our companies. So what are the pain points that we are looking at as a company? So we use the Framingham score to score employees' health parameters. And this, in 2018, 1,347 employees participated in the program. Now, the Health Passport program is an addition to the HR program. HR also provide a health screening program on yearly basis, but this is more targeted to those with high-risk category, those who are above 40. So the Health Passport program that we launched from HSSE opens to all of our employees, meaning that the young ones and including the older ones. Now, what we found from this, the baseline is that 36% of our employees were overweight and 39% were actually obese. So if you put that together, more than half of our employees were actually at the unhealthy weight. 2% have high cardiovascular risk, 12% have abnormal blood sugar, 61% have abnormal cholesterol, and 20% have got abnormal blood pressure. Again, cholesterol is very, very rampant in Malaysia, where I grew up. So everyone who you would have screened would have an abnormal cholesterol. I don't know if it's the same here in India, but it is definitely a problem in Malaysia. Now, the second program that we did was Waste Watcher Challenge. So this program is basically just to encourage employees to be, to stay fit and to monitor the weight so that, again, because we want to tackle obesity, right? And 420 employees participated in the program. So with this program, with this challenge, we launched a lot of activities. Health awareness sessions, workout classes, fact sheets, informations, and we even sponsor marathon events. And there were very positive outcome from this. 56 employees actually lost weight. The number maybe look a bit small, but from the 420 employees, we managed to improve weight of 56 employees, which I think is quite a big achievement in that on its own, with an average loss weight of 2.3 kilograms. Now, in 2019, we intensify our program. So we repeat the Health Passport program. And what was interesting is that when we compare the data from 2018 and 2019, although the number of employees participating in the program is slightly low, but we managed to actually reduce cardiovascular risk to 3.2% from those who are in high risk by 3.2%, and those in medium risk for 3.9% reduction. Yeah, and we also managed to reduce 3.3% people with abnormal blood pressure, 3% reduction abnormal sugar, and 5.4% abnormal cholesterol. One of the things that I did not mention here is basically the obesity. The weight has actually increased a little bit. So it's not here, but these are some of the success story, but we do have our not so good story as well. But we've also managed to reduce smoker by 3%. And this data was actually run through the SPSS model. So it is statistically significant. And in 2019 also, we even identify a few more marathon running events, and we encourage employees to participate in those events. We had about 3 marathon events for the year. And we also launched a team-based walking challenge where employees participated in the program. We also organized some mental health program, the Personal Resilience Workshop. For our seafarers, we have an organizational psychologist in-house. So she, together with the psychologist body in Malaysia, they developed a program called Mind Guardians for our seafarers. For the seafarers, the way to communicate with seafarers is slightly different than the normal population. So what we have done is we identified training providers who are specialized in managing seafarers. So this booklet for Mind Guardians is basically a booklet, a guide to develop counseling skills for our seafarers, especially the top 4, the masters, the chief engineers, to how do they actually manage their seafarers on board in terms of managing mental health. In 2020, again, the pandemic happened, so we were busy with managing COVID-19, as many of you guys were probably in as well. But one of the key things that we launched in 2020 was we introduced a digital EAP program called My Friends. So through our corporate partners, we engage this provider called Naluri, where they provide digital online coaching and also counseling sessions for employees. We also introduced Wellness Wednesday, where we conduct all the health activities on Wednesdays via Teams. And obviously, we also introduced online mindfulness classes. These online mindfulness classes was initially conducted by our mindfulness practitioner in-house, our staff who are practitioners. But eventually in 2021, realizing that we have demand for it, so we actually engage proper professionals to run the program for us. So we run it in cohorts. So we have run 4 cohorts in 2021 and 2022. So we will continue that initiative again in 2023. So the COVID-19 pandemic is somewhat also a silver lining for us. I remember when in 2020, when we were hit by the pandemic, the company, we were very much traditional in our management. We our physical meetings, all the engagement were physical. But when we went into lockdown back in 2020 March, we were forced to go digital. And I remember the first day that we went into lockdown, we had to actually, as a team, did like a crash course on how to use Teams. And it was so exciting because none of us were actually using Teams before that. And that was quite a challenge for most of us as well, shifting from physical to digital platforms. A lot of the initiatives were carried out digitally. As you can see here, we have various communications. And one of the things is communicating news. How do you actually create effective communications? Again, different country, different legislations, different educational level, different cultural. How do we actually reach out to all these people effectively? So a lot of communication channels were established. During the pandemic, again, mental health was a big issue for us. I'm sure it is observed everywhere in the world. And partnering with our HR team, we created a lot of programs. So some of the things that we come up with our HR counterparts was this TGIF program. Thank goodness it's Friday. So basically this platform allows our leaders to engage with employees. So what happened is every 2 weeks or so, one of the senior leadership conducts an hour session via Teams, talking about mental health, talking about personal stuff. So the whole idea of this TGIF session is just to bring people together. So letting the employee know a little bit more about their leaders. Not as a leader, but more of a personal sort of like engagement. We also continue our online worker classes. We engage proper physical trainers to actually conduct those classes online. We even bought like modules of professionally made online worker classes, because when we did the online worker classes, many of them have got a lot of excuses saying that, oh, the timing is not right, this and that. So what we did was we bought modules, about 10 modules of HIIT, high intensity interval trainings, that last for about 15 minutes from our corporate partners. So where our employees can just click on this video and they can perform those workout classes at home with their family. So we encourage them to do those workout sessions with the family and friends. Mindfulness was carried out, workout classes, health talks. We organize at least quarterly health talks, various topics covering, obviously during the pandemic session, it was more focused on COVID-19. But moving later on, we realized mental health was an issue, so we focused more on mental health after that. These are some of the communication that we come up with, HSSE moment. So every first Monday and every fourth Friday of the month, we have an engagement session with staff. So every department have to gather and they have to discuss about certain topics in health and well-being. So this is what we call the HSSE moment. So it's like short toolbox talks covering various aspects. So it is managed at the department level, and this is carried out even till today. It is still being done.
Dr. Albert, you have to wind up in 5 minutes.
Okay, all right, sorry, almost done. All right, so again, these are all the programs. So our EAP, My Friends program, I would say that it is something quite unique because while it is not the conventional physical EAP program, we use digital platform and it is accessible to mobile phones. So our employees can just reach out to counselors, and in addition to counselors, they also provide digital coaching. So meaning that they also provide nutritional dietary advice, they provide financial advice or legal matters as well. So, and all of these are PNC, private and confidential, and even myself, as the occupational health doctor of the company, I do not know who access this program. Our business entities who are based outside Malaysia, through their insurance providers, they also have got their own EAP program. Okay, these are some of the posters on Workout Wednesdays. We tried to make it exciting. We come up with dance exercise, HIIT, which is very, effective. One of the things I realized is that when you organize like a more serious workout sessions, the turnout is very low. But when you come up with something a bit more fun, like dance or even yoga, people do turn up for the session. What is the outcome? So again, in 2018 when we launched the program, this was the outcome that we had. I've spoken about this earlier. But this is the health outcome that I also wanted to highlight, which is the cardiovascular reduction risk that we managed to achieve through our programs. So there's a 3.2 reduction for high risk category and also 3.9% reduction in medium risk category for cardiovascular disease. And in terms of average step, of course, the aspiration is to get 10,000 steps per day for our employees. But again, because in 2022, when we did the walking challenge, we only clocked in 5,960 because of the pandemic. We will see how we can improve that further moving forward. So what are the conclusion is, having a good health and well-being program and also through the behavioral change, I've concluded into 5 of this category. Leadership commitment is very important. I think I've also seen across the presentation earlier. Leadership is key because we need to get funding from them. We need to get budgets. Health and well-being champions. So being such a large organization with various locations, we do need our champions who drive those programs at site level. Stakeholders engagement is very important, both internal and external. So having a clear sort of like direction and how you want to run the program is very important. Collaboration and partnership, and also the program design that actually fit the entity needs. So like I said, because some of the entities are a bit more matured in their health and well-being journey, so they probably need less guidance, but for some of the business entities that is a little bit more, behind, they probably need a bit more intensive programs. So this is the conclusion, and this is my last slides. Yeah, so that is our program for MIC. I hope you have learned something from this. Thank you so much.